go put your fingers together like this.
Okay, is this a test?
Well, no,
Okay,
kind of.
here we go.
Go
Ready?
ahead.
Okay, fingers together.
You guys, you can do this at home.
Everybody following along.
Now I want you to look at your index fingers, and are they to the same length to the nearest 100 millimeter? That is a 0.4 correlation with your intelligence. Okay? Kindergarten IQ tests have a 0.4 correlation to their third grade achievement. But what I'm saying is, would you want your third grader
Judged based on that
to walk
criteria.
into a gifted program? I don't know, do you qualify? Oh yeah, your fingers look pretty much the same length. Okay, you can get in and you can't.
Hey, welcome back to DadLabs. I'm Daddy Troy. Today I'm with Ashley Merryman. She's the co-author, along with Poe Bronson, of NurtureShock. And thanks for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Very excited to be here.
This book has made such a splash in parenting circles, and if you haven't heard of it by now, you need to go out and get it. Its basic supposition is that we as parents try really hard to do some things that don't always have the intended effect. For instance, we praise our kids, and sometimes that doesn't exactly build self-esteem. It might hurt it.
It kills it pretty quickly.
Kills it, wow.
Yeah, in fact, actually 85% of American parents think it's important to praise kids for intelligence, say things like, oh honey, you're so smart. And we think that actually gives you the self-confidence to do more, right? You know you're gonna succeed because you are already smart, you're already talented. But actually it's the other way around. Kids get so invested in these labels, they don't want to do anything that would jeopardize it. So a kid who's told they're so smart because they get an A on a test is more likely to cheat off the kid next to him, because then it wasn't me. I could have got an A if I wanted to, I didn't try. He's the stupid guy, I'm smart.
And so one of the defining characteristics of this book is that it's backed up by amazing research. Not all parenting books are created equally. Can you tell us a little bit about the research process?
We interviewed hundreds of scholars, we went to conferences, we read thousands of pages of scientific articles, and would constantly go back and forth on what the science was. So we really wanted every line of the science to be, every line in the book to be backed up by science. And we really, I think, and we include 700 sources. If anyone wants to see what actual science is there, it's right there in the book where exactly we got things from. You can remember that you can be warm with your kids. Right, and in fact, we wrote about in the book how a follow-up study to Dweck was looking at American parenting and Chinese parenting, and found that the American parents, after they'd been told their kids bombed an IQ test, and then there was going to be a second part to it, that the American parents were saying things like, oh honey, are you hungry? Do you want to have a snack? What are we going to have for dinner? And planned the rest of their day. The Chinese parents would say, sit down here and we're going to look at your test and what did you do? Now everyone sort of had this idea that that meant that they were going to be strict and controlling. The Chinese moms were just as warm and supportive, but they were actually looking at the task.
Because I'm really interested in educational reform, and I think that starts at home, obviously, but it also, will this book reach its way into institutional reform as well?
Well, I think there are a lot of teachers who are considering it, but there's two sort of types of things going on. I mean, some of the stuff in our book, like praise or sleep, right? I am all about sleep. I used to be a sleep when you're dead girl, now I'm all about sleep. And those are things, how we deal with sleep, each family can do on their own, each teacher can do on their own. There are other things that I think are bigger and require more systemic changes. Tell
me some of the people that you follow and the parenting or the reporting on parenting and education and the science of education and parenting.
It's a great question. I think it's sort of interesting that our book isn't focused exclusively on parenting advice. Right. We're really looking at it in terms of the science and what are the new studies, what are the new findings out there relating to kids, education, parenting. So those tend to be the people who I'm the most interested in their work. So certainly in terms of books and longer material, Malcolm Gladwell, Jonah Lehrer, the Freakonomics books I always find interesting. So, other people, Alex Russo, who blogs for Scholastic.com, Lisa Belkin at the New York Times, do really insightful and trying to actually think of ideas and work them out both with readers and with scholars. So those are the people I'm always keeping track of.
Well, thanks. So we'll put links to all those over at DadLabs.com. You may be watching this video away from DadLabs.com. Go over to DadLabs.com. We got forums about books that we have on parenting, that we've read about parenting, and great interviews with authors. So thanks so much for coming today.
Thank you so much.
Great.